大家好，我是特性，欢迎收看我的频道。Yeah, I said that.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in circle, walk around the neighborhood.
Oh my god. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I have missed you guys so much and I'm so happy to be here again today. So today I'm just going to be giving you guys 8 tips on how you can learn a new language by yourself at home. For those of you that know, I am currently studying languages and my major language is Chinese, and I am getting better. I mean, I'm not perfect yet, but I know that I am good up to a certain level. At least I can read Chinese storybooks for kids and stuff like that. So today I'm just going to be giving you guys tips on how you can learn a new language by yourself at home without any tutor, without paying any money to anybody, without any online class, stuff like that. I'm going to teach you today because I'm going to give you the exact tips I used. So the very first one is know the language you want to learn. Yes, you have to know the language you want to learn. When I decided to take languages, I decided to go into Chinese. Chinese is not as hard as people think it is. That is the very first thing I'll say, because I know that when I first taken Chinese, I was so surprised to how easy it was. And like, so this is how easy it is. The only hard part is writing the characters, because they're called characters, not letters. That's the only hard part. But other than that, but at this point, you don't really need to write the characters. Like, I'm understanding the language not because I want to write in that language, but just because I want to be able to communicate, to speak, and to like listen. So like, I can speak up to a certain level and I can listen, I can understand what people are saying up to a certain level. I can also read their books, like their children's story books, like for beginners and all. So yeah, that is that. So like, you have to, the very first thing is that you have to choose what language you want to speak. And then when you've chosen the language, you have to go into the second step, which is setting language learning goals. This is the most important, because other than choosing a language, you have to set goals. Like, you can't just say, okay, I want to learn Spanish and that's just it. You have to tell yourself, okay, I want to learn 20 basic words in Spanish within the next 2 weeks, and yeah, something like that. Or you can, and the thing about setting language learning goals is that you have to be very specific. So you have to be like, you don't just like set goals like just like that. So you have to have the time, days, and stuff like that. So if you want to take, let's say, Dutch now, you can just say, okay, I will learn everything pertaining kitchen in Dutch. Like, everything that has to do with kitchen: plates, spoon, pots, cup, gas cooker, this, that, everything that has to do with a kitchen. I'm going to learn their words in Dutch within the next month. I will be practicing like between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. every day, or between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, something like that. So you have to be very specific. And that is why, like, in school, like, we have timetables, we have times for everything, because it's easier for your brain to adjust when you've set it when you've put it into a routine and stuff like that. So that is the number 2. Remember, number 1 is that you have to choose a language. Number 2, you have to set language learning goals. Number 3, learn the right words. I cannot emphasize this enough. Like, I see my friends like that say they want to learn language, but they just pick up stuff they see on TV, or just stuff they see in a novel or something like that. That is not how to learn language. You have to, other than certain language learning goals, you have to learn the right words. You have to calm down, find a medium of learning. If you do not have the money for like online classes or like one-on-one tutoring classes, there are plenty apps that can help you, but you have to decide the kind of words you want to learn. You have to know, okay, if you want to be able to communicate properly in this language, you have to know basic words like hi, how are you, my name is. You don't just jump to something like that house is red. Probably you're trying to say it in another language, and you're like, okay, that house, well, what's anybody's business with the color of the house? You have to choose something that you can use to communicate with people, and that is how you start, because eventually once you can communicate, you will be able to venture into the other parts of the language and translation, if you get what I mean. So the fourth one is study smart. This is the I think this is even the most important in all of these points, because when you are studying a new language, like, your brain will feel overwhelmed. This is a language that you've not heard, you've not been hearing since birth. I mean, like, when you've been hearing the language, it's easier for you to pick it up. But this is a language that you are forcing your brain to understand. You can't just do it anyhow. You have to do it in a very smart way. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video, like, if at this point you like this video, can you please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. It will really mean a lot to me. Plus, subscribing is free. So yeah. Then, like I said, study smart. You have to be able to use flashcards, both paper flashcards and online flashcards, apps, things like that. Use flashcards. If you do not have the money to go and buy like legit, like, language flashcards, a flashcard is a card that, oh my god, I don't have one here. A flashcard is a card that, like, is square like this, and then on the front there will be a word. It can be in English or it can be in whatever language you are learning, and then on the back of the flashcard the meaning will be there, and probably the translation in English if it's not an English word. So that is a flashcard. So you can use paper flashcards. You can make your own flashcards with a lot of things. You can use carton, you can use paper, you can use cardboard. You can basically use anything to make a flashcard. You just have to cut it into the right size. But like, that would be stressful. So you can just buy. If you do not have the money to buy, there are plenty of free apps that will give you flashcards. Yeah. So you have to use flashcards. Then gesture. You have to use gestures and objects, because the brain actually learns faster when you gesture or when you point to things, and then you actually capture the image and put it right beside the word. So like, whenever you see the word, you don't really need to think about it so much, you just need to. And then the next one is visualize and vocalize. Whenever you're learning a language, you have to visualize it. You have to close your eyes. Okay, maybe not close your eyes, but you have to visualize what you're learning. Imagine the image it represents and say it out loud. You have to use your words, you have to use your brain. They go hand in hand. Okay, so if I wanted to say dad is baba in Chinese. So I just close my eyes and I say baba, and then I imagine my dad, and then I open my eyes and I say baba, dad. Easy. I'm not going to forget it again. Okay, maybe not at once, but like, you have to do it over and over again, which leads me to my next point, is repetition. You have to keep, not exactly repeating the same things, but you have to keep going back to words you've already learned. Go back to the beginning, where you first started learning from, and then probably take the test or something. Which brings me to my next point, test yourself. This is very, very important, because you have to test yourself. How would you know that you've learned something if you don't test yourself thoroughly? You have to test yourself. You have to give yourself questions, like hard questions that you know in your heart of hearts you cannot solve, and then you sit down and then you try to write down the answers. And then when you don't know it, you go back to your book or your phone or wherever your language thing is, and then you can check the answers, see what it represents. Remember, visualize and vocalize. When you see the answer, imagine what the image represents and then say it out loud. That is how you are going to learn it. That's practically the only way you can learn it, by testing yourself, by visualizing, and by vocalizing. So that is it. When you're learning a new language and you've gotten to a certain point where you've learned the basic languages and you've understood it up to a certain level, you need to use that language all day, every day. Do you get? Like, you need to speak it. I mean, even if you're around people that don't speak it. Sometimes it'd be funny, sometimes it'd be weird, but like, that's the only way you can learn. So that is everything. I think I said it. I don't really know, because I'm saying all of this off the top of my head. I don't really know if I said up to it, but that is all I have. Before I end this video, I just want to give you guys a few reasons or a few advantages of studying a new language, like an international language especially. So one advantage of studying an international language is it will boost your self-confidence. Number two, it will open your eyes to like new cultures. So number three is it would make you intellectually sound, because the fact that you can understand a language you've never spoken before, or you haven't been hearing ever since you were born, is, like I said, is achievement on a whole new level. So it will actually boost your intellect. You will become smarter, and like you just be, I don't know, you just be smarter. If you get, you just be smarter. Like there's no how, like how can you be learning Dutch or Chinese, all these harder languages, and you know be smart? More except they're following you, but you will definitely be smarter. And then, God, why can't I remember all of these things? There are so many reasons. Okay, you know what? Since I cannot remember practically everything that I thought I was going to say, since I cannot remember the advantages, you guys can tell me in the comment section below the advantages of learning a new language. Just give me one each, and I will try to put it in my next video, because the next video I am doing my next video is going to be on how to study Chinese, because plenty of people have been asking me, just how do you learn Chinese, this and that. I'm going to give you tips, and I'm actually going to show you how I study Chinese, and then I'm going to give you my study plan for Chinese. Seeking out real life practice, that is like probably traveling to whatever country that you're learning their language, or finding a real life language instructor who is fluent in that language you're learning, or joining a language club, or like attending language classes where you can speak with other people. But if you do not have the opportunity to do any of these things, so Duolingo is an American mobile app that teaches you whatever language you want to learn. There are a lot of languages on Duolingo that you can learn, and the thing I love the most about Duolingo is that you learn with pictures, and like it's very colorful, so like there's no how you will not even remember whatever you are learning. Duolingo actually breaks it down for you. It teaches you the basic words first. Like I said, learn the right words. Duolingo teaches you the right words first. You know the basic words, how to communicate, how to greet, how to say hi, all of those things. Hi, goodbye, food, the most popular food like rice, bread, animals, dog, cat, different things. Duolingo teaches you all of those things like easily, and you learn it really fast. So I'm going to put the link down below for you to register with Duolingo. Duolingo is free, but if you want to use the paid version where you get unlimited life, like Duolingo is like a game where you play, so like whenever you have 5 lives for each level. So if you lose, if you are asked a question after you learn a few words, they give you questions on with those words. So if you make a mistake, you lose a life. So if you make 5 mistakes, you lose 5 lives, and you cannot play until you practice. So you have to go back to the practice level, and then after each practice you get a heart. So you can practice once, get 1 heart, and go back to your test section. So like it's very, very fun, it's very easy, and you will enjoy learning it, because even before you can actually speak that language, you would already feel like you can speak, because Duolingo deals with cartoons, deals with voices, deals with pictures, deals with colors. There's so many things that you love about Duolingo, and I love Duolingo because I know it just makes me happy just using it. So yeah, you guys should try out Duolingo. I'm going to put the link down below. So if you want to use the paid version, I think very cheap, with like 2,000 or 4,000. Yeah. So like if you're really serious about learning a language, and like seriously, you can use the paid app. You can use the paid version, and the paid version is, like I said, it's not too expensive, and you get unlimited life. So like you don't need to practice before you get a heart or a life to play like your test section. So like you get unlimited. So even if you lose, you can still keep playing and all. And the thing about Duolingo is that there are scoreboards. Like you actually see other people from all over the world that are learning that language you are learning, which is very mad, because you guys now have ranks, and then you advance as you play, and as you pass your test you advance. Duolingo also has speaking practice, so you will have to press your recorder. Like the app has a recording part, so you record your voice, and that's why it helps you to be able to speak, to read, to understand just to do everything. Duolingo is like an all-round app. Like I said, this video is not sponsored. I just love this app, so that's why I'm just telling you. So you can use Duolingo, and like I said, you will have ranks and there are scoreboards. So it makes me happy just trying to beat whoever is above me. And there was a time I was like first position for like 3 months straight because I was playing over and over and over again. But then like life gets in the way, and I didn't really have time to go back, and then I dropped like below, and it was terrible. I had to start playing, passing my test, practicing over and over again to get something called XP. XP is what boosts you up. This, you might seem really confused now because I'm trying to explain everything that has to do with Duolingo, but if you really want to know more about Duolingo, just click the link down below and you would understand what I'm talking about. Duolingo is mad. So if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel if you've not subscribed before. And after you subscribe, click the bell like button that is beside the subscribe button, and yeah, you will be notified. You get a notification whenever I upload a new video, which is something I'm trying to do like very often now. So that is the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys. I'll see you in my next video.
Feeling good, like I should.